नमस्कार, मैं डॉक्टर प्रियंका सूर्यवंशी, Assistant Professor, Department of Home Science. So today's presentation is about the topic Principles of Human Development. So in the paper Fundamentals of Nutrition and Human Development, till now we have covered fundamentals of nutrition, and in the coming classes we'll be discussing fundamentals of human development. So in the previous class we have discussed that the traditional concept of home science was about child development, which at present has been changed into human development. तो बाल विकास को अब हम मानव विकास की तरह पढ़ते हैं, और जो उसका हम कह सकते हैं परव्यू है वो बढ़ाकर मानव विकास किया गया. पहले हम कंसेप्शन से लेके एडोलेसेंस पीरियड को बाल विकास कहते थे, और उस वक्त जो ग्रोथ, डेवलपमेंट, वृद्धि और विकास होता है उसको पढ़ते थे. पर अब हम मानव विकास में कंसेप्शन से लेकर जो लाइफ एंड, जो हमारा एल्डरली फेज है टिल डेथ, जो भी चेंजेस ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट या कांस्टेंट ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट में फेजेस रहते हैं, उन सब का अध्ययन करते हैं और उसे हम मानव विकास की तरह समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. In the last class, we also discussed that growth and development are often taken as synonymous, but they differ. For example, the growth is just related to the quantitative changes that occur in body. For example, increase in height or increase in weight is called as growth, जिसे हम हिंदी में वृद्धि कहते हैं. पर विकास जो है वो वृद्धि से थोड़ा सा और आगे बढ़कर है, उसमें और भी चीज़ें निहित हैं. Development includes quantitative changes and qualitative changes. So along with the quantitative changes, we also have qualitative changes that come under purview of development. So growth refers to physical increase in some quantity over time. It includes changes in terms of height, weight, body proportions and general physical appearance. But as per development is considered, development refers to the qualitative changes in the organism as whole. Development is a continuous process through which physical, emotional, intellectual changes occur. It is more wider and comprehensive term. So along with physical development, cognitive development, emotional and social development all encompasses in development. And now we'll come to the principles of development. Let's start with the first rule, or we can say the first principle of human development related to growth and development. So that is, developmental psychologists believe that knowledge of an accurate pattern of development is fundamental to an understanding of children. There are several basic principles that characterizes the pattern and process of growth and development. These principles describe typical development as a predictable and orderly process. Even though there are individual differences in children's personality, attitudes, behavior and timing of development, the principles and characteristics of developments have universal pattern. So we can see that in growth and development we do have individual differences, but there are certain pattern which is common universally. So the first principle is development involves change. So the human beings is undergoing changes from the moment conception of the time to death. So as conception takes place and the zygote starts multiplying, and we know that the gestational period of 9 months, the baby develops. So a number of changes occur in appearance, in size, and even the qualitative changes as the child grows in early childhood or late childhood. We know the cognitive development changes. So there are different types of changes occur, such as change in size, proportion, disappearance of old features and acquisition of new features. The goal of these developmental changes is self-actualization. Each individual is equipped with certain abilities and potentials at birth. By utilizing the innate and inborn abilities, one tries to realize and strive for self-actualization during the whole life period. Children's attitudes toward change are generally determined by his knowledge about the social attitudes towards this change and the way people of society treat children when these changes take place. So we have to understand what physical changes occur during these different phases, what cognitive and social emotional changes occur in children during development. And once we understand these changes, we are in a better place to understand their psychology and their needs. The second principle of human development is development is a continuous process. So right from conception till death, in every phase the development goes on continuously. It never stops. It may be slow, or there are certain phases where we see rapid changes. For example, in adolescence there are lots of physical changes which are more rapid and visible. So there are phases in which the development is quite slow, and in some phases it is rapid, but it is continuous process. So development continues throughout the life of an individual. This process takes place in interaction with the environment in which a person lives. One stage of development is the basic framework for this next stage of development. A child has limited knowledge and experience about his environment, but as he develops, to the skills already acquired, and the new skills become the basis for the further achievement in mastery of skills. And also we see there are two perceptions. In one perception, some theorists believe that development happens in stages, and others feel that it is not in stages but it is continuous. The third principle is development follows a direction and uniform pattern in an orderly manner. So we have seen that there are certain patterns which is universally same. For example, a child would first learn to sit, then stand, and then would start running. So this pattern or sequence would not change for any child from all over the world. Development proceeds from the center of the body outwards. This is a principle of proximo-distal development that describes the direction of development from near to the far. So there are two principles in this. The first one is proximo-distal. That means development first happens to the organs which is near to your central axis, and then the farther organs develop. For this, let us see an So in proximo-distal principle, we see that the muscles which are nearer to body, for example, if a child is there, first the child would learn to use his hand as a whole or leg as a whole, and then the fingers have the ability to pick anything, or specific development happens to the far organs afterwards, but the first the near organs develop. So this is proximo-distal principle. The other principle is cephalocaudal principle, which says that development happens from top to down. That is, first the head of the child, and from top the development starts, and the child starts controlling or managing, balancing the head, and then the further organs develop. So these are the two principles: proximo-distal principle and cephalocaudal principle. Coming to the fourth principle, individual differences in the development process. Even though the pattern of development is similar for all children, but the rate of development varies among children. So we have discussed this further also, that though we have universal patterns of development, still we see that due to the reason of heredity and environment influences, we also find individual differences in development. Then we have development depends on maturation and learning. So here comes our heredity and environment. So maturation is related to the biological unfolding of development. For example, if the child grows, automatically the child starts sitting or standing or running. So that is maturation. And learning, if we want to understand the impact of learning, for example, things like cycling or swimming, unless it is taught, the child won't learn. So learning and maturation both affect development. Then we have development is predictable. So since we have this universal pattern of development, if we are studying human development nicely, then we can predict how development would happen. Early development is more critical than later development. So the early foundation years, that is 0 to 6 years, are really more critical, because the foundation of physical development or cognitive development or social or emotional development lays down in these early years, which is very important. For example, we have discussed in quite detail about cognitive development, that how neurons develop synapses, and these synapses are important for cognitive development. And till 2 years, 90% of these synapses get formed, and afterwards we can hardly do much to it. So these early years are really very important for all types of development. Then the eighth principle is development involves social expectations. Our society do have social expectations, and when we talk about developmental tasks, जैसे हम विकासात्मक कार्य भी कहते हैं कि किसी भी एज ग्रुप के लिए, फॉर एनी एज ग्रुप देयर आर सर्टेन टास्क दैट वी एक्सपेक्ट द चाइल्ड टू do, and then we think that the development pattern is normal, and if the child is not able to do that, then we go for interventions. So that arise also from the maturation process and also from the society's expectations. Then the ninth principle is development has potential hazards. While the process of development, environment lays down many hazards. For example, when the child is in womb, if the mother is taking any intoxicants like alcohol or certain drugs, that may impact the child and cause some physical harms. So development may be hampered by various hazards. Hazards may be physical, environmental or psychological. These hazards may be originated from the environment in which the child grows or due to hereditary factors. They have negative impact on physical as well as socio-psychological development of the child. The growth of the child may be retarded. He may be an aggressive person, or he may encounter adjustment problems. Let us take another example. For example, Erikson theory, we have studied that the first phase, that is 0 to 2 years, is very important for trust building. So if the mother is not giving love and warmth, or the primary caregivers are not giving a secure environment to the infant, he would become insecure, and that insecurity would be further transferred in adult life, and he would be insecure in his or her relationships. So giving that love and comfort in that phase of infancy is very important. Happiness varies at different periods of development. Happiness varies at different periods in the development process. Childhood is the happiest period of life, and puberty is the most unhappy. We can't, we change the word unhappy and would say is more of a stressful period, and there are reasons, and it won't be stressful if we understand the principles of development. For example, every phase has its own requirements. We see that in puberty phase there are lots of physical changes as well as psycho-social changes, and the child feels uncomfortable, or maybe it would be challenging to adjust in this phase due to the various environmental demands. So if we understand these phases and the challenges that the child faces during different phases, it would be easy to help out the child. So these were the 10 principles of human development. Thank you.